Greetings all, welcome back. Part 3 of Bonneville Revisited, Jamie's Bonnie. It's been just mad the past couple of weeks with everything normal life, just work and waiting for things and this, that and the other, so it's been a bit, slow on the uploads, but back on track. And the plan for this weekend is to get the bike finished and done because he's really keen to get it back. So yeah, first thing I'm going to show you is the wheels. They're back now. I think at the end of last video I got the tyres off because the rims have just been, they're not been powder coated or anything, they were painted, so you kind of have to be a little bit fragile with them. They flaked a bit just through use, and I didn't really want to run the risk of mullering them up even more by trying to lever the tyres back on. They're quite a big wall, weren't overly flexible. So long story short, I thought fuck it, I'm gonna take them to the shop and get them done. And yeah, they did them and they look great. I still decided to clean the rims up and just give them a few coats of paint anyway, just to clean up any bits of flaking or just wear and tear chips that had happened. They actually didn't chip them at all when they were putting the tyres on, because they sit a bit taller off the rim. The kind of the lip, you could see where the paint had finished before, where they'd sprayed them when the other tyres were on. That makes sense. So yeah, so that's just tidied all that up. So I will show you that. But yeah, I'll show you the tyres. Get them on the bike. So I'm really excited to see how it all sits and what the stance is like with it on. Yeah, let's just stop talking and get a spanner in. So there we go, a little bit of a teaser shot. They're obviously still masked up from where I've been painting them. I also need to get the old scored rear brake disc off and put the new one on as well, so I'll do that first. But I'll take the masking tape off now that they've been drying for a couple of days, so they're looking lovely and spanky new again. But yeah, really excited to see what these look like on. I'll give the first little teaser, wheels on. Not going to show you too much, they do look really nice. But our first problem is that the stock mudguard and its brace will not fit with this tall tyre. It's just, there isn't enough clearance when that bolts on. I mean, you can see where the lugs are on the fork leg and to where that is. You can see how that just doesn't want to go on at all. We need probably about another centimetre height clearance, so I have to see what we're going to do about that, whether we can make some little riser up, brackets just to lift it up, but I suspect it would look better if we had a whole different sort of mudguard brace, because otherwise you're trying to bolt this onto more bolts and it's just going to look a bit crap. And that's how she stands. Looks absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. But we have hit upon a small problem in that as soon as I dropped it off the stand, I noticed the tyre was flat and I pumped it up and I can hear it hissing out of there. So I reckon when the tyre got changed, I think because they get very rusty around here, I think the inner tube has gone there again. So that's gonna have to take this off and get that sorted out again. But in terms of how it all looks together, really nice. This with no weight on it, we're gonna have to move this because as soon as you get some weight and suspension movement, that's just going to annihilate the rear number plate. So I think the only option is a side mount on that one, and see what Jamie wants to do about the front mudguard. I really like it without, to be honest, but I don't know if he's going to be riding in the wet a lot. But well, it was a bobbed guard anyway, so it wasn't as much protection. But otherwise, that's really knocked me, that, because that set us back. But the bike looks awesome. New grips are on as well.
So I'm going to wheel it back in. I've sprayed up the headlight bowl and the surround and the speedo. I need to put the sprocket cover back on, chain guard back on. No, actually, I'll leave that off because the wheel's going to have to come off anyway. Put the old mirrors back on. So close. Yeah, so far. Okay, it's been a bit of a break. Probably not in this video because this will have left from when the inner tube was still flat. That's been over a week, I think now. And basically it's just been a bit of a pain because I've had to try and get time. Well, work's been mad. Try and get time to go from work, drop the inner tube off at the shop when they can do it, pick it back up, or pick the wheel back up. Of course, I need the car for then as well. So it's taken about a week to get that sorted out and getting time after I finish work or during work to go and do it. So yeah, so I basically got the whole bike back together again yesterday, and it was looking great. But then we had a slight problem, so I'll take you over to the bike. I'll show you what it was, and it's well, at least what I think it is. Okay, so it was all up together and running, looking beautiful. But when I took it for a test ride, it was just really sluggish and underpowered. Didn't sound quite right either. And sure enough, when I touched the exhaust, well, I was trying to figure out why it was sluggish, and I got back and looked at the exhaust, and you can see how that pipe's kind of got that golden colour as the heat's gone through it. That one stayed stainless, like the whole system, and it was, when I touched it, just totally cold. So this cylinder's not firing. So I pulled the plugs and just had the spark plugs earthed against here, turned the bike over. Sure enough, little spark on both sides, so we know it's not the coils, it's not the plugs, it's not the HT leads, got to be fuel. So I was kind of wondering what it could be, because fresh jets and all that, and I cleaned them all out. So I've had to pull the carbs off again, and sure enough, when I took the bowls off, starting to figure out where we weren't getting the fuel from. This float bowl, which is the same side, left hand side one, totally dry. That one obviously wet with fuel. So we're not getting fuel from the fuel tank into the float bowl to get sucked up by the new jets. Yeah, and that was verified. If you blow, this is the end that connects to the fuel tank. So when I blew down that, we're only getting it coming out of here. So it's kind of the float when that kind of is getting stuck. So if that sticks in close like that, then it won't. How can I explain this better? Right, the float bowls like here, then they're the weights that hang off it in there. If that's closed off, a bit like your old style toilet thing, you know, that stops the flow of fuel. But if that's not moving, it will block it. So taking this all apart now and try and get these moving freely. So it's a bit of a pain. It's now Sunday night, and I was hoping Jamie would have had this bike back 2 weeks ago, but that's the reason. So and also I've got a bit of an issue with the front brake binding. The wheel was all spinning beautifully, pistons were moving in and out. I could push them in fairly easily, not super easy, but fairly easily. But when they go out again, they're not retracting, so it's binding, and that's, with the wheel off the ground, quite difficult to turn now. If I was to push the pistons back into the caliper, it would spin very smoothly. So possibly new seals are required on that one, but that's something I'm going to delve into after we get it running. So the bike's pretty much all back together, bar this issue. Really annoying. I'll throw in some pictures of the bike all together, just to give you an idea. It looks, in my opinion, really nice. Headlights all been resprayed up now, so's the speedo. It's all looking really nice. Bent the bracket up again, so we've got more clearance. yeah, so close, yet so far. So yeah, that'll be, I think I'll call it the end of the video. We know what's causing the problem here. I've just got to sort that out. Might as well just call it done. It's a shame it's dragged on quite long, and I've apologised for not having the videos up, and apologise to Jamie for not getting it all done quite as quickly as I'd hoped, but it really has been absolutely mad at the moment for me. Yeah, gonna sort this carb out, possibly new seals on the brake then to get that going, then the bike's done. So as I say, if I haven't done it yet, I'll put up some pictures I took yesterday for Jamie of the bike all together, looking at the stance with the wheels on and the lower shocks. I really like it, and I mean, riding wise as well, because you'll probably wonder what it's like with those tyres. That is my first time riding on some old vintagey type tyres. They're interesting. I'll give you that. They're kind of, you literally haven't got any like edge to them. So when you're kind of cornering, it's just a boom. They just drop. You know, it's and it does feel kind of, as you're turning and whatnot, quite heavy. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't ridden with them in the rain. I'd certainly. It's a different experience. I think you've got to be just a bit more conscious that they don't handle quite as smoothly, flipping it over and stuff like, say, a modern tyre, but that's kind of pretty obvious, isn't it? But yeah, they're an interesting ride, but I think they look awesome. Yeah, just kind of got to get used to riding them. It's yeah, I might do a report back actually once I've got the carbs sorted and I can take it, because I was more conscious really of the fact that the bike wasn't running right, and the front brake was binding a bit than the actual tyres. So yeah, so I'll get everything up and running and do that one. But as for that, I think we'll call these series of videos done. I dropped the Bonneville engine up at Fenton Shoppers the other day as well, whilst I was in a kind of in-between stage waiting for the tyres to get done. So hopefully I should be getting the frame back by the end of November. So that's pretty exciting. I've got a couple of oddnesses I want to do to the America as well, which I haven't had a chance to do since we're doing Jamie's Bonnie's been my priority, and I do wish I could have got it done quicker for you, mate. Yeah, so a few bits and bobs to sort out on that. But otherwise, the next major lot of videos will hopefully be the hardtails. So sorry for the break. It's been crazy. Hope you've enjoyed them, and see you next time.